what really makes me love this patch technology, it's frequency, right? So, performance and the way we look, it's all about the frequency our cells are resonating. So I really love, that you highlighted that, but it's all about resonating that and your body becomes it physically. So that's what I've connected with the phototherapy with using the patches. So and it feels like I found the cheat code. Ever since I found the patches, I knew this was big, and I just needed to develop into the person who could share it and not just use it myself. So I've developed that over the years as a trainer and working with elite athletes who have won gold medals using patch protocols. And losing my gym and the fitness business during COVID, shutting down, that made it like, it gave me the reason to really dive in to using the patch protocols not only for fitness and sports performance, but for health, because it's all about health. That's the base of physical performance, right? So for, the COVID protocols, what we found through scientific data, and this is doctors, what they found, low carnosine, low glutathione levels, right? And then, of course, you're going to have an inflammatory state of the cellular function in the body. So easy, X39, because you're going to bring in youthful stem cell production, Eon, and that not only helps to alleviate some of the inflammation that's going on, but it also brings in a lot of other things. And David touches a lot on that when he talks about the technology, but also glutathione, because that's your master antioxidant, and it's going to also allow your body to detox from things like heavy metals, and that's part of what we found in a lot of long COVID and COVID related patients is that heavy metals in the body. So X39, Eon, carnosine, glutathione, and then if you want to be Superman, you add in that X49, and those five right there. I didn't have one person who didn't make a full recovery within 2 weeks of adding that to their life to help their bodies get over whatever this COVID bug was, right? Because it can be a cough, it can be a sneeze, it can be a fever. Who knows? But I call it a weak immune system. I tell them, you have a weak immune system, that's all. And I know how to get your immune system going. Let's do it. So that's basically how I simplify using this for helping people get well, no matter who they are, professional athlete or kids or elderly. It's going to strengthen your body to its optimal state.
Where do you have them put each? Where do you have them put the X39, the Eon, the carnosine, and the glutathione? Because I think in every protocol, you want to be sure to recommend that placement.
Right. So, the lungs, the upper thoracic, uh, I can be really specific and use the patches like an acupuncturist would, right? So you're being really, really intentional with details. But what I found was just putting the patches through the thoracic area and also the X39 behind the neck, for general health and COVID related, but having them in the area where you're feeling congested is good. But if you're just overall sick, you can follow the protocols recommended by LifeWave, right? So just having them on together, wearing the protocols, 12 hours during the day, or if you want to try them at night, you can really just stick to the protocol. If you want to be specific, you can get picky like an acupuncturist would and find certain trigger points of the body. So it all depends on the person if I have the ability to be hands-on with them, or if I can pick out details like this, like a telehealth, and I can literally help them find the perfect points for their bodies.
We're talking about people without the highest vibrational state and what LifeWave can do for them. Let's talk about age reversal.
Age reversal. So I love the technology because it's all about what our bodies are resonating, right? Age is only a number. So what number frequency are you resonating, right? So with that, I'll start with Alavita. So Alavita is huge because that's our skin. And when you study biology, you learn that the skin is the biggest organ, right? So very, very important. That's like our solar panel to life. So Alavita, Eon, X49, X39, I think those are very important. And depending on your state, you can go with X49 or carnosine, but I think X49 is the latest and greatest, so I would have to put it above carnosine. But me, I use all the patches. I use them all, right? So sometimes people say, "What's your favorite patch?" It depends on the day and my game plan for tomorrow, right? I had a little incident where, I was jumping around to get some shots while I was in Houston, and got a little irritated, banged up with my knee, and I tried something new. I put them all around my knee: glutathione, carnosine, X49, X39, and amazing what that did within 30 minutes, alleviating some of the pain. And I jump around like Superman, but everyone has to know, 3 knee surgeries, and doctors tried to replace them both over 20 years ago. I said no, and I kept finding the answers. And the patches really, really has helped me stay ahead of the game of medical technology, because I'd say it's 100 years ahead when it comes to health and health and medical technology.
You said something was the solar panel to life. That's a quotable moment. Which one?
The Alavita,
So you didn't put any Eon on. That's interesting to me.
I could have put it on. They all get you results. That's the
Got
magic
ya.
thing about Lifeway. But when you get picky and you get detailed and you want that perfect top podium protocol for yourself, then like, it started for me as an athlete, but I look at life now, like I'm 43 and I'm not out there as an athlete every day, but it's all about being an athlete in life, showing up to get your goals done. And I love LifeWave because you can patch yourself according to your game plan, or things that become challenges. So that really is just having me just look at the future as being a trainer practitioner at a much higher level, because I'm not just working with people in person, but the internet and what we're doing now is just amazing to gather and help the world and share at the same time.
So now let's hear about your remarkable men's sexual performance protocol.
Yeah, amazing. So I started, and I had a group of men who had prostate related issues, right? So originally this is for prostate health. And remember, health before performance, right? I said that earlier. So we have a protocol under the scrotum. So we start off with, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, X39. And Tuesday, Thursday, you can do Eon. And then you can do X49 or carnosine on 2 other days. So it's about combining the different patches all under the same spot, right under that scrotum. You're detoxing, you're rebuilding. These are organs, right? You're bringing energy, you're revitalizing, you're relieving inflammation, and those are all blood vessels that help us out. It's a muscle down there, right, guys? So rebuilding, sexual function is about a healthy prostate and area. So that's the core of the body. That's right there. So that core is so important, and I love just to use that as an example. It's about pulling health to every part of the body, and that's where you have to be specific, using that point to bring the power of LifeWave and the patch technology right there where it's needed, right? That's life, right?
Micah, you've been using patches, whichever ones were available in 2006. You started, and as new patches were added, you added them, right?
Right. And you know what? That male protocol might have to change, because we have Shine and Dream. And I've been using them both for about 2 weeks now, and I'm impressed because there's just a little bit more of everything. Energy when you wake up, if your light switch is on or not, guys, if you know what I mean. And I'm telling you, that Shine and Dream, I feel like I've actually slept deeper. And when I use that Shine in the morning, it's like coffee before coffee. I put it on my wrist, I rub it, and I love to just exaggerate all those directions that David has given to those. So I've used it and I love it. So the mail protocol is going to come with Shine and Dream. So we need to add that to the list now that I think about it. So I mean, omnipresence, right? It's all changing every day as I learn and get stories from my clients who are out there.
Now, let's talk about the posture protocol.
For good posture, wow. And I really honed in on this after I had a gentleman, 84 years old, who just wanted a few patches for his trip. He was going to get on a flight, and everyone's worried about their immune system, right? But he was hunched over. He was a functioning hunchback, very sharp. He's an artist. So I thought, okay, he's very particular. He's going to follow in detail what I tell him. So he only had X39. So he put X39 upper thoracic behind the neck, and he did he did some yoga or Pilates like techniques, the bird dog, right? And I told him to do that 3 times a day, 3 sets of 10. And he used that protocol, and he was standing up straighter. I talked to his wife about a month later, and just using one week supply of X39 and practicing that, he's standing up a lot straighter, literally 5 inches higher, is what his wife told me. But I added to that. So we're using X39 above. We're putting Ice Wave in the low back, right, white patch on the right side, tan patch on the left. What that does is that activates your core, and when your core is activated, your nervous system is functioning better. So you're going to get better firing through your meridians throughout your entire thoracic. So I love that. X39, Ice Wave at the base. There's your triangle right there. Your core. And if you want to be picky, I would also add carnosine on the front side in the center of the chest.
Okay, Micah, tell us please about the neuropathy protocol that you developed.
Neuropathy. So, like everything else, I look at neuropathy as a weak immune system showing up in the feet. And the way we can address that, the symptoms of anything around neuropathy, it can be pain in your feet if you're an athlete, or if your feet are sore from wearing funky shoes or heels all day, right? So energy enhancer, the right foot, right between the split of the toes, about an inch between the split, and the left foot, you're going to put the tan patch. Always put the white patch on first. That's energy in, and then you have your exhaust, the tan patch. That's energy out. So that is very unique because it's a lack of energy to those nerves in the feet. And I like to say your nerves are arcing, they're not communicating correctly. So you have an arcing going on with those nerves. So I recommend energy for the feet, Ice Wave on the low back. So that's creating a connection from the one foot to the other. And you have Ice Wave in the middle, balancing out your nervous system in the core. So I would also put Eon under the belly button if you want to get picky. Let's say you're an athlete and you just want stronger legs for your run or for your lift. I would put Eon in the front and Carnosine in the back, low back in the center. Also, you might want to change that and bring your Ice Waves up on your shins right below the knees instead of on your feet. So if one protocol doesn't work, you can try a different position for the, excuse me, for the energy enhancer. So for on the feet or on the lower legs, and you have ice wave on your back, you have Eon under the belly button, and you have carnosine in the center of the low back. So I think that's something that would address neuropathy, and I've worked with many who've had that condition, and it did help a lot of their neuropathy symptoms. But it's the immune system having issues with those limbs. So that'd be great for that exactly. When I work out, I don't feel right if I'm not patched up, right? And it's because I understand, when you're in the zone, when an athlete is in their flow state, that just means all their chakra points are flowing, their energy is right. So a Superman protocol that I love, energy on the feet, energy. I actually have them on right now. I can feel them. Energy enhancer here, upper body. This is going to help your thoracic area, your lungs. You're going to put carnosine center of the chest, X39 behind the neck, upper thoracic, X49 below the belly button, Eon about an inch and a half under that. So you have two patches below the belly button, carnosine in the middle, energy here. And when you look at that, if you take a picture of yourself, it's going to make you want to really get in your best fitness shape to accentuate how that looks on the body. I love to use that with my images. Put those patches on and you look at yourself. And if you're into chasing a fitness goal, it kind of is like the constellations, right, of your goal on your body. So I love to use that, and I'm gonna make a point of posting those pictures as I put those patches on to help my online clients kind of see this is what my coach is doing. And this year, STEM Fit Club is what I'm doing. And if you follow that page on Instagram, you're going to plug into my STEM Fit Club, and it's going to show what I do exactly, combining fitness and the patches and using that Superman protocol for myself. But everyone is their own Superwoman, Superman, He-Man. For me as a runner, Superman is a sprinter, right? So what you want to learn how to do is match your superhuman protocol to what you love to do physically when you push yourself. And that's the magic of the Superman protocol, superhuman performance.
Tell us about your race car driver protocol.
The race car driver protocol. So what kid doesn't love a fast, sporty car, right? So what I've worked with professional racers, professional motorcycle riders also, and my first professional motorsport athlete won the championship as a rookie. So I knew I was onto something with this, right? In 2004, I started to ride a motorcycle, and I was all over California like a, crazy kid. And I learned that me doing the things I did to prepare my body so I felt good actually was making me a better rider. And that was my vision. And eventually, I started to purposefully go after professional racers. So the professional motorsport protocol, race car driver protocol, or motorcycle, and that's where you put it in the areas where their bodies are going through the most stress. So energy on the feet, you're a driver. If you've got one foot going, like most drivers driving automatics, that's going to be an imbalance in the core. But when you put energy enhancer on the other foot, you have a complete circuit, right? So energy enhancer on the feet or the shins, you can pick either or. You're going to put ice wave in the low back. A lot of these are sound familiar because your low back, how many people drive with low back pain? Probably 70, 80% of people, right? And you're going to put Eon under your belly button to help balance out your core as you're moving one foot over and over, or maybe both feet if you like to drive and you still have a 5 speed. My favorite car is a 5 speed. You know, my first Mustang, I built several Mustangs and raced them on the racetrack. So these are things I actually did myself before I started to share it with other professional racers. So if you down at California Speedway, you might catch me there with my 800 horsepower Mustang driving around the road course. So that is the race car driver protocol, and I'm getting more and more of those guys looking for that. And if you want to look at the page FP1 Motorsports with an S, that's an Instagram page, FP1 Motorsport with just a T at the end of that. That's for the motorcyclists. So I really connected with a lot of professional racers out there who are blown away what this does to them when they only use it on race day. You know, some when it comes to athletes, they don't want a 30-day system. They want a race day system. They're just trying to win on race day. And that's been my avenue, my way to connect them to change their lifestyle and not just think about race day. But it does work if you just put it on for one day for some of these elite athletes.
So finally, unless you have an additional protocol I don't know about, the last one I know you've got today is bodybuilder protocol.
Yes, bodybuilder protocol. So I don't know if many of you know about the most popular bodybuilder ever, Ronnie Coleman. That should ring a bell if you're into bodybuilding. So Ronnie Coleman met with David in person to test out the energy enhancers, and he was blown away at his results. And I still need to send you that link and to show you the video I found Ronnie Coleman working out with LifeWave on. The same patches. Look, I have on patches right now. He had these on and he's lifting, and this guy's 300 pounds, no body fat. It looks pretty impressive when you see a machine like him wearing LifeWave, right? So the bodybuilder protocol, energy enhancer, carnosine, X39, X49, and a lot of these have changed because when X39 came into the stratosphere of patches to use and X49 came, I was blown away because everything I thought I knew was suddenly upgraded because now your body is able to make stem cells at the omnipresent, right? You're building up the blood cells that you need. So if you're a bodybuilder, your body is going to actually produce muscle, soft tissue, you know, different connective tissue, nervous system, whatever it needs to match all that muscle you're putting on. And when it comes to working out, you need that balance. You need your body to be able to produce what it needs to really support this muscle tissue you think you want because it looks good. But building up muscle comes with a lot of homework. You're not eating right, it's going to be a tough life having all these muscles on you that only know how to flex, right? So wearing the LifeWave protocols teaches the nervous system to calm down. And you mentioned PTSD. I get that because my knee, my right knee, where it was a little bit worse, the hamstring always wanted to stay contracted because when I'm standing up, my muscles have to work harder to hold that knee into position. So I did notice since I've been wearing X39, for example, for a couple years, things are different. I feel better than when I was in high school, day in and day out. I don't have the different aches and pains. My body is regenerating and building up cells that it needs. So definitely X39, X49, carnosine, energy enhancer, Eon for bodybuilders who want to take care of their bodies as they build all this muscle. It's more important than they know. But what bodybuilder isn't taking supplements or shooting up growth hormones or testosterone, right? Those guys are serious. So now you can do stem cell therapy, whatever cells your body says it needs, not some needle and you're hoping there's stem cells in there, right? So very powerful to bring in the X39 to bodybuilding.
Today he explained that you put the white energy patch on first because it brings energy in, and then you put the tan on. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so it brings energy in. The individual who introduced me to LifeWave, if you guys haven't heard my story, I was at a track meet my first professional year, which was my dream to be a professional track athlete. And I was undefeated with a bad set of knees, and my right knee was a little bit worse than my left. So it would swell up in and out of workouts. But I was on a perfect diet, and so my body would recover a whole lot overnight, or if I just got off of my knee for a few hours. But I was limping after a race, and someone stopped me and he said, "Hey, I want to help you with your knee." He put on the ice wave protocol. Pain was completely gone instantly. I was like mind blown, right? I couldn't believe it. And that's what introduced me to LifeWave. And he was very, very particular and always telling me white patch first for energy, and then you put the tan patch on. You don't want to pull exhaust from an engine, a living engine, without adding the fuel and the oxygen, if I could explain it that way. So it's a yin and it's a yang. So energy in, energy out. I would say the tan patch is pulling out exhaust from our chi, right? And the white patch is pulling in the energy that we need. And ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that is what gives you the spark of energy, right? And a sprinter needs ATP, or else you're just a jogger, because ATP will only last 3 seconds. So your body is constantly producing ATP. And when you can regulate that and you're hydrated, you're drinking the right water, that means all your processes are going to be better. So you using the patches, and David is a genius. He's figuring out how to regulate all the different biological functions that optimize our state of living. And so that's why I think it's important to learn how to use all the patches. And if I can relate that to Ronnie Coleman, the bodybuilder, I only know of him using the energy enhancer. So he trained like a, you know, superhuman machine, 300 pounds, no body fat. If you've seen pictures of him, it's pretty nutty. And I met him in person in '07. And in person, the guy could barely talk. He has way too much muscle. It's like pressure on his body. But today, he's broken down and he needs to use all the patches. I only know of him using the energy to train. And I wonder how much help we could get to him by giving that 39, that 49 carnosine, Eon, Alavita. It would be amazing. So it's the importance of understanding all the different functions of the body and how we can regulate them with light frequency.
So is there anything else you'd like to add, Micah?
Yeah, I just want to say, for everyone who's here, and I looked at that Instagram, and there's a couple people who jumped on there. You see, I haven't posted yet, but it's my new, game plan going into the new year to help anyone, have a reason to stimulate getting to their goals. And if you get it, stem cell, a STEM Fit Club is going to be very unique. And my goal is to reach 100,000 people. That means 100,000 new people that are putting on a X39 and they're working out and they're watching, a trainer who's done it for over 20 years, help them stay fit. And my fitness regimen is not so typical. I have my own version of Pilates and yoga and things like that, but I do it with strength. I do it, with ways to create movement. Movement brings frequency. That's what we're learning about fitness. So if you're doing the right movement, you're creating a frequency that's going to resonate into your being, right? So it's all about staying youthful. So thanks everyone, for hearing me